How is it that you can approach or point out to clients that they've got too much background noise when you're on a call to them? Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla, founder at the Pearl Lemon Group. We're a business growth and development agency based in the UK, USA, as well as serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 49, we're here to talk about ultimately helping clients turn down the background noise. So if you need any support with communication training, please do reach out to us. And before we get into this, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 7 additional strategies we won't be sharing in this training. So look, fundamentally, this should, now the reason this one is in here is because I've seen calls where the client's got bad background noise and no one said anything about it, and it's been difficult to hear, difficult to comprehend, and all of that good stuff. And it really interferes with the actual overall call, the ability to have a free flowing, fluid call that's based around good conversation, rapport, and emotion. And it all comes from background noise, such to the effect that it's just a pain to listen to them. I'm going to try and maybe simulate some background noise now. So maybe you can hear something like this. I'm trying to illustrate what it is that I mean and how annoying that can become. So, look, I just want to point out that in these instances, tell your client that, Frank, and I'm just going to give you basically some examples of what you do in those instances. The first important thing is that you need to tell them. You need to tell them. If they're unable to change it or unable to reduce it, then maybe it's more difficult. If they apologize out of the gate and say, look, I'm in a noisy place where I am, I'm so sorry, but let's try and do the meeting anyway, then you've just got to get on with it. If they are seemingly oblivious to it, then you need to tell them. If they're in an environment where it's a consistent theme, we had a client that it just was always noisy every time we spoke to them. It was always a problem, and we just had to get on with it in the end. But we, I think, switched to doing phone calls, in fact, actually, and asking them to step outside of the office. So look, I think that having the confidence to tell them and being direct is fine. They are, or you are there to help service them, and being able to hear them is an important part of servicing them. But look, practically, when there's too much background noise, you want to just be able to tell them. How do you tell them? Frank, sorry, you know what? It's quite loud where you are. Is it possible to I don't know if it's possible to move or just turn down the background noise or something, but I just want to make sure that I catch everything that you say. You know what, Frank? It's quite noisy where you are. You know what, Frank? I can't quite hear you. There's just some stuff going on in the background. Frank, yeah, you know what? I'm struggling to hear you. So using expressions such as that should pretty much resolve the issue. Just make sure you do it, and don't feel too nervous about saying it because it's a completely reasonable request. The only nuances come, and I've seen it come, when someone says, you know, Deepak, is this better? And it's still not any better. No good. And of course you keep trying with them. The other variation is when someone's really busy and or they're annoyed and it doesn't feel right. Now, if it literally interferes with your ability to hear anything, then you of course just can't do the call. But depending upon the nature of the call, I've got 1 or 2 clients where the calls tend to be quite short and they always tend to be in a noisy place, and it's a little bit of a struggle, but I can hear what it is they're saying, and they're typically not calls that require lots of exposition and conversation. So I do put up with it in certain instances. So looking at it on a case by case basis certainly is something you should consider, but broadly speaking, in 80% of the cases, you just want to be able to say, Frank, you know what? It's quite noisy where you are. Frank, is it possible to turn the volume down in the background somehow? Frank, you know what? I can't quite make out what you're saying. Is it? There's some noise in the background. So anything along those lines is completely fine, and that is how to point out to clients that they've got too much background noise. Just please have the confidence to do it. And whilst you're here, have the confidence to hit the red subscribe button to stay connected to our channel, as well as comment below about your takeaways from this video. Thanks, guys.